Broadcast now.
All right.
Um,
So what are you thinking for this guy?
so most likely just some sort of stacks list, to be honest.
You think you want
Um,
to go with stacks as
I th-
opposed to
I think so. I don't see him like really comboing. Like, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like Kiki combo isn't really like. I don't think it's that great, and that'd be the one combo you can really
Yeah,
do.
I agree with you. I my initial gut
I
instinct is
think so.
also
I
stacks.
don't. Mm,
So
um,
I'm in
let's see.
agreement.
All right. To let me post this up here in the live streams. All right. So I don't know how to exactly you want to share if we want to share screens. To be honest, um,
No, I mean if you wanna, you because you're making the list.
yeah,
Can't you just share it the screen on like go live
maybe I have it
on
streaming on
Discord?
YouTube. I don't know if there's a delay.
Oh, you want me to watch on YouTube? I can do that. Sure.
Yeah, open on YouTube and just like mute the volume and see. I don't know if there's a delay or not
See. Stream today.
because maybe
There is a
that'll.
delay.
There is a delay. All
Yeah, there
right,
is. But that's fine. I mean, if I'm muted, I don't
okay,
think it matters.
all right, then
It's
that
not
should be
going to
fine.
affect me, at least. Doesn't affect you, right?
Yeah, I mean it doesn't really affect me. So all right, that
Yeah. So
should be good. So yeah, I was thinking of building her. She seems interesting. I
that's
also
Queen
I want to get
Kayla,
a
right?
yeah.
That's the okay.
I want to build something from the new set. I don't know if we're gonna be playing it or not for a video, but
No, I think she's unique.
mm-hmm.
Boros is kind of underrepresented. WinCon is probably what we want to identify first.
Yeah,
Um, does she go up to four CMC or just three?
it's three.
Three,
You,
two, one.
yeah, three, two,
Okay.
one. No zeros.
So interestingly enough,
Mm-hmm.
um, Dockside and that new enchantment
What new
could
enchantment?
create. It's from the new set. It's a 1 mana enchantment that allows you to bounce a permanent to your hand for 3 mana. Um, creates infinite mana with Dockside, and if you have some sort of untap effect, I don't know if we could think of one that could be at the 3 CMC slot. Could be like collect them all and just go off. Um, Paradox Engine would be great, obviously, but that's not going to work at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, More of just a thought towards the combo idea. I don't know if there is a 3 mana artifact that actually there is. Staff of Domination.
Let's
Um,
see.
for a combo oriented approach, which is kind of interesting. There is no Staff of Domination in white. Or it's an underrepresented mechanic. I mean,
Oh, can I not have her?
artifacts.
Sorry, I was
No,
trying
you
to.
can. You can because I added Sardavian Avenger already to my casual Ninja list. I say
Let's.
casual because it's casual.
am I spelling? Am I spelling that name wrong? No, Queen Kayla.
Yeah, okay. Well, go back to that other page. Yeah, don't you have another? Type in Kayla instead. Ignore the queen part. Just type in Kayla. Oh yeah, she's there. Maybe she's not
That's
added.
yeah. Hmm.
Just put any Boros commander for now. Put Winota as a
Yeah.
placeholder.
That's fine. So Dockside's definitely going in. Do you know the name of the new card?
I'll look it up. I don't off the top of my head, but I noted it as a good card.
Okay.
It's an uncommon 1 mana.
Let's see. Just adding cards at this point that are good. Deafening Silence. Esper Sentinel.
From Brothers War. Which ones?
I'm trying to think what Boros combos. Unfortunately, Walking Ballista isn't going to be good in this deck.
Yeah, because you can't cheat it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not good. It's just not something that synergizes as well. A card that I'm thinking of is called Meticulous Excavation.
Meticulous?
Yep.
Excavation. What is this card?
It's good. It's a good card. I think it'll see play here and there. I mean, I don't know that it'll see heavy play or anything, but it's a good card for sure.
Gotcha. I'm gonna pop open the database and just look at anything to see. It's just like 2 lists. See if there's any good staples.
I mean, right away, Esper Sentinel. And before we go into the stacks list, I'd like to explore this a little bit.
I would say you could do Bomberman. I mean, there's no outlet in the command
Auriok Salvagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. I don't know that.
Oh wait, I'm not thinking of Oryx. That's Salvagers, not Steel Shaper.
Auriok Salvagers is a 4 mana card that gives you
the
Bomberman. Yeah, gotcha. So it doesn't quite work. But going back to my initial thought, like I said, that new card, Meticulous Excavation, Dockside, and look up Staff of Domination. It's 1, 2, and 3.
Well, this is an enchantment, so.
What do you mean?
She can't. It's only artifacts and creatures.
Oh, it's not just CMC?
It's not CMC. It's artifacts and creatures specifically.
That's what I get for not reading the card.
I mean, we probably could run it as just like a weird value. I mean, it's only activated during your turn.
Interesting. Yeah. What's only activate during your turn? Meticulous Excavation? Yeah. Staff isn't, though.
Staff isn't.
Staff is an interesting card in that you could just, like, kind of pump her up. I almost think, in fact, with enough rocks, is there any sort of untap effect in white? Unwinding Clock? Is Unwinding Clock the one that allows you to untap your artifacts?
That's during upkeeps. It's like a Seedborn for that.
Right.
There's like Magda uses the clock, which is tap 2 artifacts to untap another.
Unfortunately, that won't work in this case.
There's probably like I was going to say we could do like Scepter. I don't know if there's a Scepter that untaps just like one specific thing, because you can't do Dramatic, unfortunately, on the right colors.
Yeah, that doesn't work. So, I mean, Staff is in here if you can get Meticulous Excavation, which in white, you can. So it's really not too bad, in my opinion. And I do kind of feel like ETB effects could kind of work. I let me pull her up again because I want to read her exactly. Is it put or cast?
You may choose an artifact creature with that discarded.
Return them to the
Yeah, so
battlefield.
there's no casting. So she loves her rule of law effects.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if she gets around it. So she does, so
Yeah.
that's good. So I am leaning back again. I think Staff is an interesting card here.
Mm-hmm.
Staff of Domination, even Meticulous Excavation, Savine's Reclamation can get that back when you're dumping stuff too, and kind of having like more of a dig strategy, which I think kind of works with this thing, like a trash for treasure, just dump shit.
Mm.
Goblin Welder, even if you don't cast it, even if it's because you could still get value off of 4, 5, and 6 mana costs if you can recur them with something like Goblin Welder, which I think is good here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Savine's Reclamation, stuff that plays from the graveyard. I think Faithless Looting's good. I think I like the idea of like a loot centric, artifact heavy
Mm-hmm.
and list, and then fill it out with stacks if it makes sense.
I think definitely at least get all the good rule of law effect creatures in at 3. Um,
Yeah, you could do that.
I say I wish. I don't think she's enough. I think she does still needs a win con, to be honest. So I'm
Oh,
really.
Staff of Domination, Meticulous, Excavation, and Dockside is a win con. Granted, it's 3 pieces. That is a win con. That wins on its
Mhm.
own. You can draw your entire deck in that fashion, and you can play all your 1, 2, and 3 mana cards that way too.
Mm.
I think that is technically a win con in itself. I guess you would have to find the thing that wins at 1, 2, and 3 to cast. No, you should have infinite mana at that point too, so you should be able to gas out your hand every time, and then just have like anything that gives your creatures haste and to win.
I think this. I'm wondering if I want to run anger. To be honest,
It's not a bad card. Um, is it necessary at the moment?
I
I think
don't
it's
know.
something to consider, but it depends on if the win con is just creatures or not. Which right
Mm-hmm.
now we still don't know. We know that meticulous excavation, Staff of Domination, and Dockside can get there as 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we know that if you're playing Breach, you can get there with Blasting Station, which is a good option to dump cards into your graveyard and go for something. I don't know what wins in that case, though, when you don't have Brain Freeze and you don't have. Um, you're not casting stuff, technically. It
I
could
mean,
be.
I guess it's
You
you can
assemble
mill
that.
everyone else out if you're looping with Dockside,
Yeah. So I think Blasting Station is an option and
or is it
Underworld
blasting
Breach.
station or grinding station? Because grinding station is the
Sorry.
treasure.
It's Grinding Station.
Gotcha.
Although now that I'm thinking about it, Blasting Station is another option,
I don't
right?
know
That's
if blasting station is.
pretty sure it is. That's the one that pings.
Yeah, but we need like I don't really have a way of recurring Dockside infinitely through the graveyard.
Yeah, you do with
She's only
Breach.
with breach doesn't go infinite though.
I don't know that you need it to go infinite.
I think blasting station can be put in like a maybe into considering.
Okay. Uh, it's a possible win con. and it works in as being an artifact in a deck that's like leaning towards the Tinker.
Mm-hmm.
I think Anger is also a maybe. I would
Yeah.
put both of those cards in the sideboard then for now.
Yeah.
If you're putting one, put both.
Okay.
But definitely Grinding Station pushes. And then if you're looking at, if we're looking towards that, I would look at the Tevish Crom list that's out there and that exists. Definitely pull that list up
See, I was thinking
because
of like the Oswald Fiddlebender list, because I think that one might be a similar
well,
list.
yeah, I think we're going in two different directions at the moment because I'm not committed 100% to say it's a stacks deck. I think it plays well into stacks, but I think like Najila,
Mm-hmm.
as an example, Najila doesn't play stacks only because it just plays well into stacks. It capitalizes on the stacks plan that other people are playing, so it doesn't have to play it itself. And I think it can get around that really well. So I don't think you necessarily need it. I think the stacks effects are only if we can't get there another way. And the other way that I'm thinking of is similar to the Tevish Crom list. You won't have blue, but you don't need blue. You can do it with Grinding Station and Burning Inquiry and kind of an LED and whatnot and go that route. And when you do that, you're playing into the artifact, your aspect of it, you're playing into the graveyard aspect of it and dumping your hand and trying to get value out of there. And I
This the
think at that
Turbo
point,
Breach list.
when you say this, you're not showing something else on your screen.
Oh,
So I
I'm
don't know.
sorry. Give me 1 second. But is the Tevish Crom Breach list on the database?
Yeah, I would look at the Tevish Crom breach list on the database, whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Breach Storm. There it is.
Hey, Mormonator, deck building has just begun and it is going slow. Right now, we're not sure what our win con wants to be, so we're trying to figure that out. Since a lot of the normal win cons doesn't quite fit, we're building Queen Kayla, since I want to build something from the new upcoming set. But you were saying the Tevish Crom list. My big thing is that I think because there's no quick combo, there's no easy combo, I think we need the stacks pieces to slow it down. Especially since her value engine starts at 4 to activate. So it's super slow, even with the haste enabler.
I'm not 100% convinced. Like I said, look at that Tevish list, right? Pull out the things that make it work, that are blue, and you can get there in a red list with Breach and a Wheel of Fortune and Burning Inquiry and Grinding Station. That this card, Queen Kayla, helps fuel the graveyard 4. It fuels the graveyard 4 Breach. That's the other part of it. You're dumping your whole hand, not just 3 cards.
Yeah.
It gives you the ability to really throw away stuff to help fuel a breach line. And I think that in red and white explicitly being able to get enchantments, it's a good tutor color for enchantments. I think it's worth exploring that as far as it possibly can go before we go to the traditional stacks is the right path.
Okay, it's funny. He was just saying from chat, are we leaning towards stacks or breach? And we're definitely not sure which one, as you just heard.
Well, I think we're split. You want to lean towards breach. I meant towards stacks, and I want to lean towards breach first, and stacks as a backup.
So I guess
we're kind of split in that regard, and that's probably more so that I have some experience piloting the Grinding Station build because I have a Tevish Crom list, and I've played that a while back. It's been a while, but I was actually surprised at how effective Grinding Station actually is at fueling the graveyard.
Hmm. I would say there's no mono red breach list, is there? Like, in terms
Um,
of just.
I think the best thing you'll find if you were to find anything is if you started looking on Moxfield for something that's like Duretti, maybe, like, which is kind of falling into the realm that I'm kind of saying, where they do like a Blood Moon stacks effect,
Hmm.
but they're also doing, but
I'm
that's
just
not
not a
even,
fan of
that's like
Blood Moon.
very
That's the
French.
issue.
Well,
So.
yeah, I'm not suggesting running Blood Moon at all. That's
Hmm.
that's just a mono red list that I know of that might have a similar strategy.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything? It's just because I think it's Bergie Storm, Godo, Magda. Is there anything in the Brewers corner? It's just Red, Rio, Infinite Combats, any outdated decks. There's a Duretti Stacks list. Zada Storm.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find many white red stormy lists. I don't think they really exist. This would be a really unique
Mm-hmm.
brew if we got it to work that way.
Mm.
Um, but like I said, the reason why I'm suggesting going that way is as a stacks list, it plays well in the stack, so you can leverage that.
Mm. Mm. I don't know. I would say, yeah, Blood Moon has lost a lot of potency since Dockside. I mean, Blood Moon, with all the artifacts that we're running anyways, Blood Moon feels like it's pretty bad. Uh,
Yeah, I agree. Blood Moon's bad. I wouldn't say to add that as a card.
yeah.
Why don't we fill this out now? Let's just go. Let's just build our ramp package right
Sure.
away. Since
I
you can
was,
do that right away without let's
yeah.
see how many slots we have.
And yeah, I'll link the deck list there and I'll check it out. All right, so let's build out while we
Yeah,
still
let's
figure that
let's
out.
build the frame and then we'll consider whether it makes sense to go in the
Mhm.
non-stacks direction or the stacks direction.
Yeah.
But we can pretty much establish the frame without that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I assume we're just running the full
I think the full
artifacts.
full gambit, yeah.
Yeah.
Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, because you can get an early activation off that potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think Simian Spirit Guide is a definite.
Yeah. Um. Mana Crypt, Mana Vault. Mox, Diamond. I assume we're running Opal as well. Question:
Yep,
do we run? Oh, I can't get 0 drops. That would have been spicy if we could run like the Tanzanite and stuff like that.
that would have been cool.
Yeah, but
But
we
yeah,
can't,
she doesn't pull
unfortunately.
those out, unfortunately.
Um. Uh. Why am I blanking on names?
What are you looking? Let's see what you got. You got Mana Crypt, you got Mana Vault, you got Mox Diamond, you need Chrome Mox.
I've got
You already
Chromox.
got that. Alright, you got Mox Opal. You want to run Felwar Stone, probably. You want to run
I'm
Arcane
missing Opal.
Signet.
That's what it was, Mox.
Oh, you clicked Tantalite, but you
Yeah,
meant to click
instead.
Opal.
Um. Then Arcane's. Oh, not Arcane. Arcane. Zerta combos on my own Kayla list. Zerta works, Basalt works. Oh, that's interesting.
Basalt Monolith, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. With Rings of Bright Hearth,
Yeah.
right? Infinite mana, and go from there. That's another one that I like. In fact, because um, once those pieces are on board, you don't really have to do much.
And
And
they
you get
both.
around your stacks to
Yeah.
cast your 1, 2s, and 3s. I like that a lot.
Um. What is it? Shatter Skull. I probably want.
Yeah, a Django. But let's finish the ramp package first.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking as a win con as well. before I forget.
Gotcha.
2 mana. We've got Arcane Signet. Um, man, all my names are just evaporating. Where is it? Mox Opal, Chromux, Lotus Petal as well. And then Jeweled Lotus as well. Zero. Deafening. That's Enlightened Tutor. Expedition Map. Mana Vault. Soul Ring we have. Soul Guide. Arcane Signet. Oh wow, it doesn't run really any of the two. Alright. I know there's probably at least a few more. Let's see. Oh, Fellwar Stone. That's what it is. All right. In terms of ramp, are we good after that? Oh no, there's a Grim Monolith.
Yep. Grim Monolith, definitely want to run that.
Yeah. What's the partner commander or partner? The companion in red, white Zada, is it?
Zerda.
Zerda.
Z-I. Yeah.
What is each permanent in your starting deck has an activated ability? Can we do that? Because that cuts out Dockside.
I don't think so.
Hmm. Do we run her just in the list? Because she's a 3 mana cost. So she gets free.
I think we can.
If we're
Run her
running
in the
the
list.
the Fellwar Stone. Or Fellwar Stone, but the Basalt Monolith combo.
I think she's worth running in the list, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Let's see. Does it let us bounce any of our permanents? Oh, yes. Actually, that's really good. Because that lets you bounce your own stacks pieces, too. So then, Lighten Tutor. Are we going, like, janky and doing, like, an idyllic tutor or something like that?
It depends on what our win con ends up being, I think. I do think we can.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly an option, but I don't know that we have the slots for it yet.
Okay.
We probably do, just given the nature of a white-red list, but
Gotcha.
let's hold out on that before we confirm.
All right. So then I think we're good for our artifact ramp package, as far as I'm aware.
See. Power Stone, Arcane Signet. I would also add the Talisman of Conviction.
Sure. All right. And that should be good. Let's see. I'm gonna into Wheel of Fortune as well. Just with as many cheap artifacts as we run, we'll need the card advantage.
I definitely think you have to run Wheel of Fortune, especially if we're even considering a breach line.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say LED.
Yeah. We might have to do 2 builds of this, to be honest.
And I also think Jeweled Lotus.
I've got a Jeweled Lotus.
Okay.
So it looks like we're building. At least this one will be Breach Works.
Yeah, we're just exploring to see if it does.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if we run out of slots, then it's what it is.
Yeah.
You have Goblin Welder? You do.
Yeah, I do.
Do you
So I
have the
guess
other one, the 2-mana Goblin? That's similar to Goblin Welder? Virtually
Goblin
the same?
Engineer.
Yes.
This one. And Entombs, and then get back 3 or less. Yeah. All right. So, how do we stop our opponents from winning now? Is my question.
Fair question.
Because that's my one concern, I guess.
Is going with this route?
Yeah. Do we just
Well, I don't know if we necessarily do, to be honest, yet. I think if we're going in this route, we need the silence of effects. You need silence. You need Grand Abolisher. You need the new one, even.
Grand Abolisher doesn't stop.
Well, I'm saying go all in on
Yeah.
WinCon at the moment.
What was
Then go backwards and we'll look at what stops. But
yeah, what was the new one called? It was
Meryl, something like that.
Myrel. I don't know.
And Ranger Captain, you also need.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the 4 going forward in all of CEDH pretty much. That's what everybody's going to use.
Yeah, do they really not have Queen?
I think
they
Miles
do. Why?
Really good card.
Why would it not let me move it as a commander?
Maybe they don't recognize it as a legendary yet. Different databases.
Oh, I can set it as commander. There we go. That was weird. But let's see. All right. So we've got silence. Are we running any of the other worst silence? Because I know there's a few silence effects as well.
What do you mean the worst silences? Which ones?
They're
the new exile one you talking about?
Effects. I think there was a few. This one's old. Ceasefire. That one's not great. I can't play that one. Only during combat. I wanted to see if there was any extra silence effects that we would run. Like Abeyance. That only stops one player. Silence. And then that's Orium's chant. Alright, so then I guess we're good on that effect. So then we've got our silence effects. I assume then we're running like the red elemental blast as well to stop Thassa's.
Probably as a protecting piece, and also against Thassa's, yeah. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, it's red elemental blast, and what's the other one?
Pyroblast.
Pyroblast. There we go.
That is the most prevalent win con in the format, so
yeah,
sure. And I also think it's protection as well against counterspells for your own stuff. Granted, Queen Michaela does get around counterspells pretty well, in her own ability. So there's that.
So we've got 2 ETBs with Dockside and Ranger Captain. Are we running like Hushwing?
I'm on the fence. in this particular build with
Gotcha.
running Hushwing. I think obviously you run the rule of law effects before Hushwing.
Mm.
Um, and then, again, it's just we'll see if it works type deal.
Oh, thanks, Seth. Let's see. So, Flame Scroll, Celebrant, and Revel in Silence. That's what.
Yeah, I do like Revel in Silence as the other um, silence effect. I
Yeah,
think it's a
that's what I was thinking about.
good card.
All right. So, all right. So then, are we play Mind Goblin? Which one's Mind Goblin?
I've never heard of Mind Goblin.
Yeah, does it
A new
say?
card?
I don't know. It's not popping up unless it's one word, but I don't think it's. Does it say? Yeah, Josh. What's Mind Goblin? Unless this is a mind gobbling these nuts joke. Because I'm
That
pretty.
probably is a
That's
Mind
probably what
Goblin.
it is.
Nice one.
Mm-hmm.
You got me for sure.
All right. What's the? Let's see. I'm the one from Oh, gotcha. Is that how I?
Oh, it wasn't a Mind Goblin. These nuts jokes
No, it
is what you're
wasn't.
saying.
Um,
Unexpected.
this is the goblin. You put a name sticker. Whenever this creature enters, put a name sticker on it. Add a.
Should have just went with yes. It is a Mind Goblin. These nuts joke.
Gotcha. So this is, I guess, an alternate dock side, basically.
Oh, really?
Will you add red for each unique vowel on that sticker? So I assume, or it's whenever a creature enters the battlefield. So you may put a name sticker on it. So that's interesting. I had not seen this card. I guess there are a few Unfinity cards that actually people are playing. All right. Now, what is anyone else playing?
Just not.
Welding.
I hate the sticker concept. Really, just didn't like that.
Yeah. Oh, Skyclave Apparition. Let's add that.
I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself
It goes
probably
in
wants
anywhere.
us not to go into the Hushbringer effects off the bat. I think if we're gonna try and use ETB affect hate bears and stuff.
Yeah, if we're adding the Mind Goblin as well, and the Goblin Engineer was the other one, ETB. So I guess
Yeah,
for now we won't.
yeah, we just stay clear of it for now.
All right.
Come back to it.
Yep. What was the Deep Known Terramancer
Yep, absolutely.
and the
That's one of my favorite
Archivist?
cards in Magic. To be honest, I think that was an awesome inclusion for white.
No. And then what was the other one? It was the Archivist of whatever.
Archivist of Aqua.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. That's worth running as well.
Oh, that's what it was. Aethersworn Canonist.
Oh yes. That's 100% a run even before the other rule of law effects, because we are an artifact heavy list, or we will be, a pretty artifact heavy list.
Let's see. I say Sorcerer Spyglass, Torpor Orb. Spirit of the Labyrinth is something we're definitely not adding.
Yeah, definitely don't want to add that. That doesn't work at all for us.
Yeah. Oh, let's add swords and portable holes, probably.
What's portable hole?
It's the 1 mana artifact that you can get CMC 2 or less permanents until it leaves.
Okay.
Just some nice low permanent removal.
Yeah.
Swords. I just said the card and I'm blank. Portable hole. Let's see. All right. What else? What else? What else?
All right. So, sure list so far. And our win cons at the moment. Did you add Burning Inquiry? I don't see it.
Oh, I
That's
did
got to
not
be
add
there.
Burning Inquiry
That has to be there. Given.
for breach lines.
Yep.
Burning Inquiry. All right. So I guess go back
Another
to
thing to fuel the graveyard.
mm-hmm. If we're going all in on this dockside plan, we might. I don't know if it's good or not. The 3 mana artifact that lets you Cloudstone Curio.
I like Cloudstone Curio. Actually, yep.
Since it lets us bounce. And if we are running any weird stacks piece, at least that
Yeah, and
Kiko
I
has.
wouldn't say that we're necessarily going all in. I like the idea of a little bit of a layered approach here. I do think Oriok Salvagers with the Bomberman win con that you mentioned earlier is relevant here. So I do kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
You get additional value out of if you're already discarding your hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll get value out of using LED for mana, discard your hand, like do it on top of triggers and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I really do think the Bomberman win con fits here.
I would say. So we have quite a few ways of getting infinite mana. What are our outlets? So we've got staff.
Staff opens up the win con with Kayla, or
Mm-hmm.
opens up the ability to draw your deck with Kayla.
Gotcha.
Breach also allows you to dig. I guess Breach does it with like a grape shot effect, which doesn't quite. Put Aethersworn Canonist for the moment on the sideboard, just in case we're not going into a stacks build. I think that needs to go on the sideboard as just in case.
I don't know.
Um,
I feel like we might be able to even combo through it because we're mainly
it's artifact. You
yeah,
can
it's
just
mainly
draw.
artifacts. I mean, I guess it can hurt us, so we'll put it in considering for now. Um,
Yeah, it's certainly possible to combo through. I just don't
mhm.
know for sure that we can.
Are we running any kind of haste enablers or anything like that? I think the only thing we for any of them. So we've got Goblin Engineer and Goblin Welder along with our commander that would like haste. Um,
We would like haste, but I don't think we have to focus on that
okay,
primarily first. I mean, I don't think she's going to be a
heavy
target to eat
play.
removal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think once she's out, she's going to sit there. Um, especially being that it's a sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
She can only activate on your turn. People aren't going to really worry about her.
So are we moving Deafening Silence as well to the
Yeah,
sideboard?
I do think we're going to move that to the sideboard for now.
Okay.
Not to say that we're not coming back to that, but
Yeah.
that's certainly a for now.
All right. No run.
Now, if we don't go towards the stacks plan and we stick to the red-white plan,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other win cons that are just in those colors. Dual caster and twin flame should at least be a consideration. I don't think it necessarily fits in this list because it's you can't tutor for either of those
Yeah.
in white and red, but at a minimum it should be a consideration.
This is an interesting card. Fanatic Purification as a madness outlet for discarding it. This card's super interesting. Halo Fountain.
Go for locks. I think we run Dranith, by the way. Definitely
did I not have
Dranith.
Dranith?
I don't think you do.
That
But
was
interesting, now that I'm thinking about this a little deeper, we might be able to go for locks on the game state.
what, like
as
knowledge
well.
pool kind of locks?
Yeah. I'm thinking like Possibility Storm, Knowledge Pool, Omen Machine. They are artifacts that you can cheat into play in these colors. They don't really kill your game plan because if you can't cast stuff from your hand, the things that you're just going to use your commander to do it, right? You're going to dump the card into the graveyard and put them into play. So
what is
it doesn't impact you at all.
What's the actual lock?
It's Dranith Magistrate.
Plus. Gotcha.
Lavinia is another one, but we wouldn't be able to run it.
Yeah.
Lavinia. And then Possibility Storm, Omen Machine, Knowledge Pool are the
I
things
think
that
might
do
be
that.
Too cute.
It's a little narrow. Yeah, it might be because we don't have any sort of layering with like a Lavinia doing the same thing.
If any of those were like 3 mana, I could see playing it because that way we could at least cheat them in. But
you were asking about how to disrupt your opponents also while being able to win. Those are pretty heavy disruption pieces that don't impact this game plan,
Machine
or don't impact at
play,
least
though.
your. Yeah, okay, maybe not Omen Machine, but they don't, like Possibility Storm doesn't impact Kayla at all if she's out.
Oh yeah,
she's just dumping stuff into the graveyard.
I say Omen Machine is removed. I say
again, those are just things to put to think about.
Possibility Storm and Void Mirror.
Those are just things to think about. At a minimum, we're obviously running Dranith. You have to. That's a definite.
Void Mirror does not stop us. So that's probably
some Chalice. Well, actually, Chalice
does stop us, yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Chalice entering... Oh, I wouldn't be able to get it back. So Chalice is only good if I draw it and cast it.
True. Thinking of Chalice at 0 because we don't really necessarily have to.
I can't cheat Chalice on 0, so
yeah.
What is Uba Mask? Let's go. Player would draw a card. The player removes that card from the game instead. Each player may play. I was going to say, Seth, I don't think Uba Mask, does seem bad with Kayla, though, so that's not... Unfortunately, we'll take that one out. Where's Possibility Storm? Did I put it in? No, I did not.
Yeah, I think that's just keep it on the side as a consideration.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of those effects seem to stop people from drawing cards, which Kayla needs to, unfortunately.
Yep.
I assume we'll probably run Smothering Tithe in this deck. I,
Um,
I don't really see a reason
it
why
would make sense
we
because you could
wouldn't.
just cycle. I mean, think about what Smothering Time Tithe gives in a turn cycle. It's basically a free activation of
Mm-hmm.
Kayla, right?
Yeah.
3 treasures, 1 mana makes it's a good cost reducer in general.
Mm-hmm.
Also allows us to pump out maybe like some of our bigger spells and still get a Kayla activation after dumping our hand.
Yeah.
So I think I would agree that that's worth playing.
All right. Do we have any other interesting cards to put in when we're not including stacks pieces? Oh, are there any good um uh madness pieces as like
I'm not really familiar with the madness archetype in
uh,
general, so I don't know that answer. I'm sure there are good madness pieces. There's madness decks.
hmm, but I don't know in specifically white red um
Damn, I couldn't
colors
tell you in white red.
red white.
You have Grand Abolisher?
I should.
Okay.
Let's
And are you running Heliod? Did we I think Heliod and Walking Ballista are still worth running.
You think so?
Yeah. Because again, we're in white, we tutor out enchantments and artifacts. I think you want to run the land Hall of Heliod's Generosity to be able to get enchantments back from the grave and put them back on top of your library.
Ophelia's generosity.
Think we obviously run Solitude just because it's good.
Yes, sun crowned. Um, walking ballista and solitude. I don't. Is there any better card for than solitude? Probably not.
Well, it's just free interaction in colors that don't really get it very often, so I feel like Solitude is
True.
worth having in the
Uh,
list. I think most white lists do run it. In general.
oh, that's not the right one. God dang.
But yeah, so
I wish
now we are
gather was
kind of.
way easier to.
What are you looking for?
I just want to see white and red madness cards.
Uh, let's see. Hold on. I use an app on my phone that I think is just way better.
I know because I use the same app on my phone as well.
Decked. Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There are no white and red madness cards.
Well, not right,
Oh
white
wait,
and
sorry,
red,
not
but there are.
reduces. White or red.
Yeah. White or red.
All right, there's a bunch of them.
Are there any that are actually any good? That's the question.
Um, we'd probably want to look at the Astronomicon or Mancer deck to see which ones that it uses.
The witch deck? Is that the Anya deck?
No, the Astra Mancer thingy that no one can pronounce the name. It's like it's a Rakdos deck
Oh,
that uses madness effects.
I don't know. I would say I am not good at spelling. That's why.
Oh, I couldn't spell it to save my life. I wouldn't know.
Gotcha.
I like Thrill of Possibility also, by the way.
Possibility. All right. I don't think there are no good Manus cards. All right. Any oh, that's interesting. Null brooch. Dollhouse. Those are lands. Those are maybes. Trinisphere is not. Yes, no. Danglewire, no. Staff, no. I think that's probably it for now. How much are we doing? Pithing
What's the
needle?
win con in Teshar?
It's a weird loop with it, I want to say. I think it's like another Cheerios list or something like that. It loops like Memnites and stuff.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Okay. So that's not a good option. I was trying to consider that as where it goes in terms of. So if we're doing the spell bomb as an option, you're going to want to include the spell bombs, which are
Gotcha.
the
Let's
red
add
one.
Cathar Commando as well.
Yep.
I say. You think we should be adding the spell bombs?
I think Pyrite spell bomb is a good card on its own.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey there, Fernando.
Hey, Fernando.
I say.
We're just trying to build out this commander that Steve wanted to mess with.
The super janky commander.
The Queen Kayla. The Boros guy that taps, discards your hand, and plays 1, 2, and 3 CMC.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one. Seems cool. Different, at least.
Yeah. Hop on. He's sharing his. Well, he's streaming to YouTube, so the link I think he put somewhere in the chat. Where'd you put the link?
Is it the dead on board? I'm assuming it's the dead on board.
Yeah.
It's in the live stream. Yeah. Tune in. We started building it. So, to give you a quick background, right now, we kind of debated on whether to go stacks or combo with it. I suggested looking at the combo version first because I think the commander uniquely kind of can play through stacks, so you can benefit in the same way Nagila does. Whereas if there's stacks at the table, you're just in a good position.
He doesn't cast; he just puts him in play.
Right, it just puts him in play. So what we have is a couple of options where we've got Breach in there and thinking of like a grinding station, burning inquiry type loop to dig. And incidentally, Queen Kayla kind of fuels your graveyard while she's doing what she wants to do. So it helps that strategy. The other thing that we have is
so you have you have the Underworld Breach lines.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Got you.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Underworld Breach lines in the sense that we can get down to our library, but we're not sure what the win con is from there. We have, per suggestion from the chat, Basalt, Monolith, and Rings of Brighthearth to generate infinite mana and then go Ballista? For either Ballista or Staff of Domination, and it kind of layers with Staff of Domination Dockside and that new 1 mana enchantment that bounces Dockside for infinite mana. Because staff can untap Queen Kayla to do the same thing, to just go through your deck.
Mm,
And that's kind of where we are. And we put...
there's probably nothing clean in Boros to win. I mean,
It's not
you
super
do-
clean. We're just
There
trying to
are
explore
there
it.
are cleaner win cons, but they involve either an outlet in like the command zone, which unfortunately Kayla is not, or they're like Snoop combo lines, which is not something that this deck really wants. It can't really set it up.
Yeah, I
and-
don't like Stoop combo,
Yeah,
personally.
yeah, and then there's also dual caster mage, which this deck doesn't really set up well either. I mean, it can run it, but
Yeah, it's not artifact based, so it's hard to get them both, and you can discard
Right.
it without
It's
me.
meant
Yeah,
it's meant to... If you're playing
What,
into like the spice of the commander, you're playing into the fact that she fuels your graveyard and she gets around rule of law effects.
Is
Where
that a, is that a, sorry? Is
she
that
doesn't have to
an
do it.
unhinged card? What is that? One of the
Yeah.
new ones?
so
Jeez.
it's kind of it's weird. It's a very weird card.
I don't even want to know about it, so it's fine.
Yeah, so how many
Um,
cards are in this deck right now, Steve?
Currently 62. With
no lands.
Oh
so
wow,
I just
62. Can you
Yeah.
add 28 just mountains so that we can get a number?
sure.
What? You probably you have Shatter Skull Smashing right there, so you
Yeah.
have 2 lands already. So you just 28, yeah,
Or
28
yeah.
or 29. I would add. I mean,
I think 30 is fine. It's a low CMC list that you don't have to cast things. They're going into the graveyard and coming in for free. So you just need 4 mana and your commander out. So having a 29 land list, I think, is totally fine for this particularly.
Untapped artifacts. What is major? Are we playing the untapped artifacts that are in Oswald, Mage Right Stone, etc.? We are not right now, Oliver.
We should look at that.
Where was it? Mage Right. Which one is this?
Yeah, Boros doesn't really. How does we know that win?
Through combat
With
beats generally.
damage.
This combat. All right, fair
Yeah.
enough.
This is a unique type of build because it's not.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
It doesn't have like that win con where you can
Missing.
just swarm with combat damage like Boros normally does. This is
Let's add also 1,000-Year Elixir.
Yeah, that's a good one.
that's a good one. Gives you the haste effect,
Yeah.
the untap effect to get a second activation.
Depending on the amount of 2-drop, like maybe even lightning grips is an option. I don't know if you have it
Potentially.
already.
Yeah, but again, it's not really like we want to compact our win cons and then look towards interaction. We don't have a lot of interaction in the list right now, which
Well, because it's
You know,
a
with-
stacks list, it's gonna be
Well, this
hard
is
to.
like this is not a stacks version of this because we're
This is
playing
not
like
a stacks
no
version.
stacks version,
We
no
have-
stacks pieces.
Yeah.
I thought I just saw like a Thorn of Amethyst or something like that, and I
Those are in the
that's,
sideboard as like thoughts.
That
If
this is the
this
this is
doesn't
the
work,
Oswald list that I'm referencing to see, since I figured this is probably going to be like the closest thing to look to see if we're missing anything obvious. So that's
What's
that's
Flame
what you're.
Skull Celebrant?
What was it?
What is that? What's a Flame Scroll Celebrant?
It's a silence.
Oh,
The
Interesting.
backside is your opponents can't cast or activate Planeswalker loyalty ability. Or sorry, can't cast spells or activate loyalty, and then you exile it. And then it's just a creature on the front side. So that way, in case we draw it, it's still just a free creature.
So this view that you're showing right now, this doesn't. So this includes cards from the sideboard.
But no, he's looking at a different list, not the one that we've put together.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's what I'm getting confused.
That's what he was looking at. This is the one that we've put together so far. At least It's our working
Mm-hmm.
thought.
I might have
Thus
to leave
far.
in like 5 minutes, guys. But
You're good. You're good.
yeah,
You think land tax? I don't know that we need to run land tax. Maybe.
I don't know. That's spicy, to be honest. Land tax is spicy.
Why you say that?
Oh, it's
Just
one of
to
those.
draw and dump them
Well, it's because
in the
because
deck.
because Queen draws the same amount of cards that we put down. So if we fill our hands with basic
Yeah,
lands,
lands. Okay, yeah,
do you
that's fair.
guys have a lot of ETBs? Because
I
otherwise,
so
Nope.
we've got the blank goblin. We have
outside loops, right?
dockside loops.
Just because it may be worth
You didn't
it
add
may be
any of the
worth getting
tutors yet, did
the
you?
Hashwing Grave and all of that.
Enlightened tutor you added.
So we're probably going
Gamble.
to build a second version that's a little more stacksy. What is Goblin Lore? What is that card?
Wow. Oh, that's the one that draw 4, discard 4 or something like that? It's like a doesn't do that, or draw 3,
Draw
discard 2
4,
random?
discard 3 at random.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I like
That
it.
was that was super
That's very
spicy in
much a Rick
modern like a
card.
couple years ago.
I like it.
I'm gonna add land tax for now.
It does fuel breach, which is kind of where we want to go with this type of list. It's the game plan with this list is get a Grand Abolisher down, get a silence off, whatever, and
You
then
have-
be able to recur
Yep, there
the
it is.
breach and go. Either recur the breach and go through a Savine's, or being able to recur the meticulous excavation if we need to.
Yeah.
Lion Chess is some it's an artifact, so kind of goes with it, and it gives you some graveyard hate if you wanted to.
That could be
Lion
possible.
Sash is worth putting in the sideboard at the moment.
There was a
As a
1
consideration.
mana creature that I wanted to look at. Where was it?
Fire Direction Revoker is another artifact that could be interesting to add at stacks. At the same time, it goes with the commander if you wanted to.
Oh, where was that? Was that? This is is it here? So there's a where is it? There's a 1 mana salvage scout that is interesting. It's 1 mana, 1 white, sacrifice it, return target artifact from your graveyard to your hand. I don't know if it's good enough.
I don't think it is, unless it helps with the loop specifically.
It lets you rebuy things that have been discarded randomly in case we don't have it.
So this is the this is not the stat. Sorry, this is not the.
So what I'm showing right now is the KCI list.
Okay, so just glass cannon kind of idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
Mirrors, guys, scanner workshop.
How about KCI is
how about
sack 3 artifacts, tutor an artifact to play?
Clan Kirk's is sacrifice an artifact to get 2 mana.
What's the one I'm thinking of that can tutor for artifacts?
Oh, I know which one. You're thinking of it's a 3/5 artifact creature.
Kultrotha or something, maybe?
No, Muldrotha is the 3 mana, the 3-colored legend that lets you play stuff out of the graveyard.
Koldatha, the Forge Master. Koldatha.
This is
sacrifice 3 artifacts, search for an artifact, put it onto the battlefield tapped.
This is maybe a little spicy, and I'm not sure if it works, but it'd be really cool if you can cheat in or somehow put in a Mikostin's Lattice here, make everything an artifact.
I say the only way we have to do that, we have Trash for Treasure, and then we've got Goblin Welder. I think those are the only 2 ways.
There's another goblin that can do it. It cannot tutor it, but can do it.
Oh, they can do it? I'm not aware of that off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's another 1-drop. It's the other goblin. what's that goblin? I gotta leave, but I'll find that goblin for I leave.
Okay.
Full.
All right.
Pretty sure you can tutor for something. Like, hold on.
The 2-mana goblin, right?
Is it 2 mana?
Goblin Engineer, are you thinking of?
Oh yeah, I think that's what it is.
Oh, we have that, but it doesn't. Mycosynth Well Lattice or whatever is too much mana.
6 mana. Yeah, Tinker.
Oh, you
Engineer
can
only
tutor
gets
it, but
3
you
or
cannot
less.
rescue it. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like if you can produce a lot of mana, that thing makes it so that you can start using, like, your creatures are also targets for your commander. So I don't know. Seems cool. You've got 2 land tax, by
Good
the way.
point.
Oh, do
That's
I have two
actually a good
attacks?
point.
Oh, whoops.
Mycosynth Lattice makes everything in your deck an artifact as
Yeah,
well.
that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's super cool in this deck, I
That's
think.
actually a really good point.
How do you spell Mycosynth?
MyCosynth.
MyCosynth.
Pop out, probably.
I think it's SY. It could be SI.
I gotta leave, guys. But if I think of something, I'll just text you or something.
Yeah, sounds good. See you, Fernando.
All right, later.
Mycosynth Lattice is interesting.
Control of the Court is also a functional reprint of Goblin Lore. Thank you for the... How expensive control? Oh, that's why it's portals. All right, we need 4 more cards, probably.
Well,
let's see. I
have Deflecting SWAT.
Yeah, but we can't. I would say, Oliver, we can't get Karn anyway. That's the issue. We have to luck into him or like gamble into him. So I don't know if it's
Well, he's
worth
just
it.
saying if we're on Lattice,
Yeah.
you might as well save the slot for Karn. I don't know that we're on Lattice yet. I think it's a consideration for sure, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. As at most, it's a consideration.
Oh, this is a card that I think.
See, Teshar does use Blasting Station.
Yeah, that's fine. I say he's a lot of recursion loops.
Yeah.
But it was Restoration Specialist. I think we should add, because it can rebuy our Breach, or whatever.
Hover Restoration Specialist.
It's a 2-drop instead of a 1-drop, but it's white. Sacrifice it, return an artifact and an enchantment from our graveyard to hand. What's up, 8th place, Dave?
Yeah, I agree, Oliver. I think that's the strategy that we want to move towards, and then trim stuff that doesn't follow that, because it kind of is similar to what this list is doing, and trying to. Generous Gift is probably worth running.
Generous Gift. Oh, the Beast Within?
Yeah, just to have a versatile removal option.
I don't.
Or sideboard. I mean, it's just a versatile in the colors to hit anything. At the end of the day, we don't care about really giving someone a creature, because our target goal is to win outside of combat damage. So when we're looking at our interaction suite and what our options are, that's probably one of the better ones.
That's the wrong wheel.
Also thinking of like Wheel of Misfortune now.
I was gonna say, are there any other red wheels other than Wheel of Misfortune?
Well, there's Winds of Rebuke.
Winds of Rebuke is a blue card.
Not Winds of Change. Sorry. The 1-mana red card
Oh,
that
gotcha.
you spin for what? How many cards were in your hand? Jessica's Will should be in here.
Oh, Justice Will is what we need.
What's the other one?
I would say, do you want the creature tutors for Dockside? What are the creature tutors for Dockside? Like Goblin Matron?
Goblin Matron and Goblin Recruiter. Not Recruiter. No, it might be Goblin Recruiter. The 2-mana Goblin.
I thought Recruiter is just like the top 4.
No, it allows you to.
Oh, Imperial Recruiter, that's what it is.
Oh, Imperial Recruiter. Oh, and the other one. Not just Imperial Recruiter, but the white one.
Recruiter.
Recruiter of the Guard.
Recruiter of the Guard, that's what it is.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, there's too many good cards.
Well,
right,
that was the plan, to get to a point where there's too many good cards and cut down.
Yeah.
And Goblin Recruiter is the other recruiter where you can get Dockside to the top off of it by itself.
All right.
But I think those are, again, like, once you get the whole list of options, I think then we start trimming and see what makes sense.
All right. Are there any more? I don't think Dockside is important. Is that important? I don't know, because right now Dockside is is like, I mean, granted, we've got like a few different win cons right now. I don't know if it's not worth it.
Yeah, we're going in a couple of directions at the moment to try and figure it out.
I think we
Dockside win con.
I think we
to make all those treasures works with Blasting Station. That's how you win with Blasting Station.
Well, it was with Grinding Station to make all those treasures.
No. Blasting Station is how you get the win off of it with treasures.
Blasting Station is sacrifice a creature to deal a damage.
Yeah, so Grinding Station
lets you mill everyone out. Roughly digging like 7 cards a turn, that's the point. What are the recruiter? There's going to be a point where those recruiters are kind of dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think they belong in the list. I think they're just
I don't know. It's one of those cards that we still need to get to dig 7 cards a turn, and we want cards that keep our hand full. At least the recruiters, like, if they're we've got Grinding Station, but if the recruiters are dead cards, we've probably already won at that point. If there's nothing left to tutor.
I understand what he's saying though, and I agree with him that like our engine revolves around getting Grinding Station, getting Blasting Station. Those are our 2 win cons. Blasting Station can win where Grinding Station, if it can't.
If they're running a reshuffler?
Yeah. Blasting Station is the other option for getting through your infinite damage.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? The one, the Immortal, or the other one? The Goblin Nabob.
I was going to say there's a million Squees, but I think Squee might be a little too cute. Unless there's some sort of, I mean, it's one of those ones that I guess is an outlet for that.
Well, you mentioned keeping your hand full.
That's true.
Squee itself always comes back to your hand, so it gives you that 1 extra. I think that's where Mormonator is making the reference to Squee.
I guess.
There just lets you always have a high number of cards in your hand.
Yeah.
The other thing is like considering Scroll Rack, sculpting the cards that you want to discard and the cards that you want to draw into.
I could see Scroll Rack. I think that one's probably going to be one of the first cuts, but and then Squee.
Yeah, I think the recruiters are certainly on the chopping block.
I think which of the recruiters is worse? I assume the Goblin Matron is probably the one that's cut first.
Maybe. I'd like to explore in the Tashar list
Mm-hmm.
the Cheerios effect. Where is it? Are there any of them that, like, when an artifact enters the battlefield, you draw, or is it? Ooh, I like Sensei's. Yeah, top,
Sensei's.
top, and Aetherflux.
I think Aetherflux is too cute.
Aetherflux won't make it. Yeah, I'm trying to think top is worth running for sure.
Which Squee's the one that for discard? Is that the
Goblin Nabob.
okay?
But no, in the Tashar list, is there what Cheerios effects draw cards? Is it always on cast of an artifact, or is there any that artifacts enter the battlefield draw
Oh,
cards?
this is the wrong one.
I think they're all on cast, but I could be wrong.
I think they're there's Sky Scanner to draw you a card.
That's a good point.
What also top plus Forge is 1 mana draw. Yep, I say we did add cut the matron so you can tutor Celebrant as a silence effect. Yeah, I think the Goblin Matron probably is the worst of them. In terms of baubles, you can put a card on top, on the bottom. Codex Shredder. No, yeah, I don't think there's really any draw cards that you're looking for, Lutz.
Okay. I was trying to leverage any sort of draw we can get off of, additional draw off of Kayla's ability.
Yeah, I don't know if running a cost reducer is worth it, Oliver. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. We've got a lot of 2-drops, but I don't know. Containment construct, something we want. I don't know.
Ayo.
Containment construct. I don't know. It seems cute, but I'm not sure.
Let me check containment construct actually.
Yeah, it's the 2 mana artifact creature. You can, when you discard a card, you may exile it from your graveyard. If you do, you can play that card this turn.
Yeah, I don't dislike that for the 0 mana cost artifacts. To be honest, I really like it as an option here. You're dumping. Well, I guess 0 mana artifacts you're just gonna play, but if you want to draw into the most number of cards, you could discard it.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a cut after testing. I think it's going to be one of those things that it gets put in from the discard, it misses everything. But any thoughts on Ragavan? I've been very jaded by Ragavan recently. I've had it turn 1 2 games in a row, and it felt great for exactly turn 1, and then it felt really bad.
That's because I put a wall in front of you that you couldn't get through.
Well, yeah, I think our meta is too creature focused to Ragavan actually getting a free hit in.
Yep, I agree.
So
other interesting cards I like. I think this list, especially, I kind of like Ensnaring Bridge as a sideboard card. Now that you mentioned that our meta is heavy creatures. Because you're right, our meta is very heavy, creature heavy, and Ensnared Bridge does
I'll put that in the
blank a lot of our decks.
yeah.
Interestingly enough, like it's not something that blanks, Thassa's Oracle, but in our particular meta, we
Mhm.
have one main Thassa's Oracle player, which is you.
Hey, I mean to be fair, I actually don't run many decks that run Thassa's Oracle. Because Riel
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
run
joking.
it, and I'm running like Magda and Winota, and those don't run it either. So
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, our
um,
our our meta is an anomaly. We are underrepresenting the top win con in the format
yeah,
with our decks.
I was about to say, what is that? Mikola? I would say AO is better than Thresher Gang in terms of like a list that we should be looking at, or in terms of card selection.
Yeah, I think in terms of a list as the commander, I see a lot of AO games, but I haven't watched many of them on YouTube, unfortunately. Um, so I don't know the list very well.
I again, I haven't seen. Let's see.
But it's probably a good place to look to derive some ideas from.
Yeah, Academy Rector is cute, but I don't know. Even
Rector
yeah,
could get Karn. So it's at least maybe something to consider. Thing is, we don't really have that many ways to kill stuff.
let's see. I did
And
add
Karn
line
doesn't win
slash
without.
loyal retainers. Seems kind of martyr. Oh, it's a sacrifice effect. We don't need mother runes. Ornithopter of Paradise.
Oh,
Remorseful.
Aven. You need to add
I
Aven.
already have Aven Mind Sensor.
Okay.
Um, Sanctifier and Vec is interesting. Are we missing any of
Two
the?
mana red and black spells can't be cast from graveyards?
It exiles them and it just eats all red and black spells out of the thing and it's got protection from red. Are we missing
Yeah, we don't want that.
any of the
We're in
obvious
red.
Urza Saga? Well, oh, that's right. Sanctifier doesn't work. Are we missing any of the obvious Urza Saga targets? I don't believe so. Because we've got our Jeweled Lotuses, we got all of our 0 mana artifacts, unless there's something specific.
You
Um,
want to run Urza Saga. We haven't completed the land
we
base
haven't
yet.
done the land base yet, but I mean, it's definitely going in. Um, yeah, Sanctifier. Yeah, good point. Sanctifier stops our breach list.
Yep, can't run that.
Steel Shapers does not do anything. Enlightened Tutor, Path, Swords. We might need to add a little more creature removal. I'm not sure. Blade of Selves, no. Chromox. Lady, no.
Stoneforge doesn't do anything for us.
No, it does not. Uh, Relic Hunt, Relic Vial. Whatever creature dies. No. Strionic. Do we run something like a Voltaic Key?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. Voltaic Key's just for artifacts.
I
And
wasn't
Key,
sure.
I
It's one of
guessed.
those interesting cards on thin ice. Land tax, grasp of fate, gift. I say pirate spell bomb is removal. We can add it into the list. I would say do. Oh no, we really don't want to do that. Because I was thinking like I know Magda loops it, but we don't really have that. I mean, if we really wanted to do that, that'd be very weird. All right. All right. The white spell bomb is pretty bad, right?
Yeah, we don't want that.
Okay.
Just want the red one, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Um,
All right. Is there anything?
well,
What?
the white spell bomb technically draw. It is bad. I don't think it's worth playing. I take it back. Nope. Just pyrite spell bomb.
Lightning bolts. Just add it into the list. We'll probably cut it, but it's always good to have a bolt.
Yep. So Pyrite Spellbomb and LED. LED at the moment layers with both Breach and with Salvagers.
Yep.
And both of those layer with either Grinding Station or Blasting Station for a win con.
Yes. Although
And those are, I think, pretty much our primary win cons.
yes. Although we might have to figure out a way of when it like. Unfortunately, it's one of those weird things that we might get the combo off of LED plus salvagers and not actually be able to win. Oh no, it can kill with So the pyrite is good with salvagers as a win con as well. It's gonna be one of
Correct.
those things.
Right, Pyrite is another option once you have infinite mana from LED.
Yeah, assuming we're
So
going
it's
that
just
way.
another outlet. It's just another. Plus, as a like kind of a seal, forget the red seal, but a seal effect.
Oh, you're thinking dockside list
Take it.
might need to be cut. Ooh, and maybe just do a Bomberman straight list.
Oh, I don't think Dockside needs to be cut, and the only reason I don't think it needs to be cut is that the loop in Dockside itself is a very small aspect. I agree that it doesn't need to be tutored for. I don't think we're necessarily like just looking for it because the deck is already gonna kind of spin, and we should see a lot of cards. So anything that tutors for Dockside, yeah, I mean those are on the chopping block before Dockside.
Oh,
But Dockside itself,
it's
I don't think we're gonna dump it.
Mm.
It's just too strong in itself, and it also combos with which we mentioned at the beginning of the start.
Oh, you're saying not dockside, but the other cards, Curio, etc.
Possibly. The thing with Curio is that it also combos with like Curio being able to use Dockside and creating all those treasures to get off a grinding station or a blasting station win.
I mean, it's one of those weird things that unfortunately we're not super. I mean, Curio might be good if we have the tutors because that lets us then tutor for like a goblin engineer, which lets us entomb and stuff like that. But,
right. Curio is more because we're in white, and white tutors best for artifacts.
although
the things that
you're
we
not
cut first
necessarily
are
wrong.
creatures.
It might be the cards worth cutting, since Curio is the biggest of like the do nothings.
Mhm.
All right. Let's try. Are there any more cards to add, or should we just start cutting? We'll do the lands at a later date.
Well, how many cards are we at?
We're at 109.
109.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think we could start cutting. I think let's start with the creatures because I feel like we're just very creature heavy for what we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm. So the weird goblin, mine goblin.
Yeah, what's that guy do?
So when this creature enters the battlefield, you may put a name sticker on it, and you add red equal to each unique vowel on that sticker.
I'd like to remove it just because stickers are just overall not entertaining to me, but that's kind of up to you.
So I assume this plays basically in the same vein as our dockside, to be honest. This is like a one-time effect instead of storing treasures. But I also hate stickers, so I am fine with moving this to considering.
Yeah, I think we move that to considering. What a weird card. I think we need Ogma. Auriac Salvagers is a win con.
Yep.
Avon's very good. Cathar Commando being able to play that at flash speed.
Yep. And just removal.
Keep it. Containment Construct, I think. Now I'm gonna be immediately very harsh as we go for cuts. remove Containment Construct for now.
I'm fine with that. It's one of those weird cards that it's weird. I think the timing on it is gonna not work out in our favor a lot.
Yeah. Possible not. But
Yeah.
more importantly, it's not necessarily strong enough. That's more like if we see an effect happening in testing, we'll check it out.
Thoughts on Alms Collector as an additional card draw? That one
Certainly is a consideration. I think it
I
can
don't
be
like Alms
considered.
Collector overall. It's too much mana, so you don't get it off our commander, and half the time people are drawing off the Ristics, which are single instances and not like. I mean, it's really great if someone brainstorms or like ponders, but a lot of the incidental value are like single card draws and not massive ones. So I'm gonna move it to considering.
You need to add Lotus Petal.
Oh, do I not have a Lotus Petal in there? No, I do. It's right here.
Oh, I missed it. Okay, I see it.
All right. Deep Gnome.
Yep.
We'll keep for
I have
now.
a personal pet card in Deep Gnome. I think Deep Gnome is just incredibly good if you're running more than like 6 planes in your list. And this list definitely will, being a 2-color list. It might not, depending on like if you
I
really
think
want
it's
to
a
push
card
add
to
like
keep and then cut later. I think for now
depends
it's
on
good.
when we get to the lands list, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if we're running more than 6 or planes, I think it's still an auto include.
All right. Dockside is keeping. Draneth is a keep. Esper is a keep. I like the Flame Scroll Silence because we get to tutor it off of our creature-based tutors.
Yeah.
And if we discard it, it's still a creature.
Yep.
Um,
I'm good with that for now. Goblin Engineer, Welder, Abolisher, Heliod, Imperial.
so
Lion
are we
Sash.
still running Heliod Walking Ballista combo?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I
You
think
can get him back with all of Heliod's generosity.
yeah, but we don't have great ways of getting Walking Ballista back to hand, which is the issue. Because we can't reanimate him.
Yeah, okay. So remove that for now.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Cuts 2 slots for us, and yeah, the recursion side of it is not too strong for that.
Yeah, I mean we have some interesting cards, and it maybe if we're lacking win cons, we can.
So
bring
actually,
it back.
let me go backwards. Let me take that back. Ballista is an alternate win con for a bunch of our infinite mana.
Ballista's only good in hand, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, but if you get it in hand,
okay,
you would play it and then dump it and then dump your hand with Kayla. I think Heliod at that point becomes the card that you remove potentially if you don't want to like layer it, but I think you always run Ballista.
Okay,
Even
we'll
with
add it back in.
being a removal point.
Yeah, I know any piece that requires in hand is not going to go over well. I don't know. We are running a few other cards, so
Salvagers would need it in hand because
yeah.
when it comes into play, it's not a 1/1, it's a 0/0, so it just dies automatically.
I think we'll cut Heliod for now. We'll keep the other one, and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I think Heliod's the cut over Ballista. Ballista's there as
Since
an
I have
option.
really no other life gain in the deck, or really in the deck, so.
Yeah. Also, Ballista's great at picking off like 1/1s or 2/2s too. Like it's still good interaction by itself.
All right. So Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer, Grand Abolisher, Imperial Recruiter. All right, Lion Sash. Do we want it as a piece of graveyard hate?
I think so, because we can't run anything like Rest in Peace because it affects us.
Yeah.
So I think you want spot removal.
You can get it. No, Oliver, unfortunately, when you bring it back with your Oriok Salvager, it'll enter as a 0/0 and die infinitely. You have no chance of getting it back. I say you need to bring it back to hand, which Salvagers does not. Right out, Salvagers doesn't do.
Right. Oh, Salvagers puts it back in play, I think, right?
Oh no, it does. It actually get from graveyard to hand. Never mind. You are correct, Oliver. Never mind. So it does work with Oriok Salvagers.
Oh, yep.
So then yes, we are definitely keeping that. All right.
Yep.
Sorry about that. All right. Lion Sash, I guess we will keep for now. Muriel, Shield of Argive.
Yeah, I think that's a definite include.
I think this is one of the ones that will probably be cut with testing. Just because she's
I
4
actually
mana.
don't think it will.
I don't know.
I have an issue with 4 mana, to be honest. I think her effect is really powerful, and incidentally, having the option of generating soldiers, which in white, a lot of things are soldiers. Like look at Imperial Recruiter, look at Recruiter of the Guard, look at
I think it's one of those
Oriok Salvagers.
Yeah. Salvagers. I know Salvagers is CMC4, unfortunately. I think Salvagers is probably our best win con right now.
I don't think at 4 mana you worry about that not having synergy with our commander. I think if you draw that card, you play that card over using your commander's effect.
Yeah, it's
if all
one
you
of
have
those.
is 4 mana.
Yeah. Fiddle Bender is something that we're gonna keep because it's just too much value.
Yep, I agree.
Ranger Captain is a good tutor.
Yep. Well, good tutor, good silence to go for the win. In this case, in this type of deck, those silence effects to be able to go for the win are going to be pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
Skyclave Apparition. Now, Solitude, to your point, like it could be.
I think
removed.
Solitude will go into considering. I like the flash and whatnot, but we're not. I think it's too much card disadvantage to cast it for free. We actually do have the new artifact creature unearth effect. It's the meticulous excavation. It's one of the reasons we wanted to try dockside loops.
Nope, that's the. He's talking. I think he's talking about the graveyard one, right? The
is there a different one? New artifact creature unearth effect and what?
What's it called? Hold on. So maybe he is talking about meticulous excavation.
I don't.
That was mentioned. The other card is Calamity's Wake, but that's all graveyards. Never mind. I was thinking about the other silence effect, but Calamity's Wake exiles all graveyards. So never mind, because I had forgot that was another silence effect.
Yeah. Let's just double check.
So yeah, he is referring to the meticulous excavation, which we are running because it does give another option for a potential dockside loop. Sorcery, better than Trash for Treasure. Let's see.
Which one?
We might have missed
Let's see. Do you know the name of the card? Let's see. There's I guess tap 2 creatures. Oh, the recommission? Hey, Vincent. Let's see. So I guess he's talking about, I assume it's recommission, which is better than
target artifact or creature.
What is your favorite color?
I do like that. Recommission's very good.
I would say.
That's definitely worth running.
As for my favorite color, I'm probably like blue-red. I'm an Izzet Mage, all in all. Recommission. We'll add recommission because it probably is better than Trash for Treasure. Although Trash for Treasure grabs are bigger ones. Although granted, at this point, it's like
not that many.
It's not that many.
Yeah.
Did I spell that wrong? Or Corlo? There we go. We'll add recommission. And we'll probably take out the trash for treasure or move it into considering. All right, let's get back to the cut.
Yeah. So
I like
Serta
restoration
is a
special.
nice to have, but I don't know if Serta's a needed.
Sorry, where were we?
I'm still looking at the creatures.
Yeah.
We were at Solitude, right?
Well,
Solitude.
restoration, spirit guide, skyclaves. Yeah, solitude. I think we'll move that to considering as well.
I kind of like it. As again, free interaction. I think this format needs free interaction, and that's one of the cards that I think we have to keep. I mean, I know you don't get value off of it. I know we lose cards off of it. But still,
I think we're diving through our hand too much. That trying to hold it up probably isn't worth it. If we could activate our commander at instant speed, I think it probably would be. But we're really channeling through, so
that's fair. You'd rather use the ability than hold the interaction.
And if that's really the thing, we can pack more like interactive cards that are either creatures or just like one drops, like swords, path, and that.
Yep, a braid, whatnot. Sure.
Yeah. Squee.
I think squeeze like a nice to have, but not a needed. Doesn't combo. Doesn't do anything more than just like fluff with your commander.
Let's move it to considering, and we'll potentially bring it back. Zerta will keep as well. Walking Ballista, we already had the discussion.
Yep.
All right.
So Squee move to considering.
Yep. Burning Inquiry, Control the Court, Faithless Looting, Gamble, Goblin Lore. I think all of these that we have for sorceries are good.
I would be inclined to agree with you. Like I would say keep those. The only thing that doesn't is technically a net loss in cards because you're using Faithless Looting. It's just filter.
It is, but it's good in the graveyard, so I think it's probably worth keeping.
Yeah.
If we really are short on spots, we can probably remove it. But
yeah, Lightning Bolt, moving to instance now. Lightning Bolt's too narrow, I think. It is a 1-mana spell, but we have that's why we're running. Granted, it's only 2 versus 3 damage, but Pyrite Spellbomb kind of does the same thing and layers with our attempt at comboing. I think
so.
Needed.
How do we remove Collector Roof? That's going to be my question.
Pyrite Spellbomb does it. I think
Pyrite Spellbomb does not with Collector Roof. You can't activate it.
Okay, fair.
So that's my only concern, because Collector Roof is going to be like the bane if we can't activate our artifacts.
That and Stony Silence are probably going to be the biggest things there. So,
because we at least have, for Stony Silence, we have Cathar Commando, and we have Skyclave.
Yeah, I mean, we have Generous Gift as like our all around there. So I think a Braid in itself is going to be better than Lightning Bolt. Just because it's modular.
Do you want to cut instead one of the like Pyroblast or Red Elemental Blast for an Abrade instead?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Considering that we're running the effects that don't allow people to cast on our turn. Don't necessarily think we have to protect our combo with either of those two cards. I think it's good. I think they're both good. Especially when into Thassa's. They're both very strong.
Yeah.
To support that, but I guess we don't really need both.
I think
I think we can cut cards first out of the artifact section though, before.
All right.
Go
So
looking at the, because I would even think like maybe running wear and tear is worth it in there.
maybe.
So yeah, so let's look at the artifacts here and see where we can cut down on. I think scroll rack is a nice to have but not needed.
mm, considering the whole pirate spellbound rings. Is there in this colors rings is the only thing. Rings and Zerd are the only ones, right? That combo with our
Yeah,
the-
basalt monolith.
yeah.
Hover over Mage Right Stone.
Major stones and untap. There we go. It's one untap a creature that has a tap ability in it. So it is narrow, but it lets us get off double activations. I guess let's cut Magerite Stone to considering to see. Because I don't know if we're getting double activations off of it. Because that's 9 mana to double activate.
I think that's pretty high. I don't think I would agree. Mage Right Stone just kind of doesn't make it at this point.
Well, so it's in a combo with Fiddlebender. Because you use him to go up the chain basically.
Yeah, but we're not really using Fiddlebender in that way. Fiddlebender's just there to assemble the combo, not necessarily.
Let's
build
cut
up from zero.
Cloudstone Curio as well.
Okay.
And then
Curio is kind of interesting in itself in that
I think if we had more like real ETBs, I mean, maybe we'll come back to it and we'll realize that we were wrong, but I guess.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, so we need to make one more cut for now.
Curio can come out.
Yeah. Are we? Is Lattice too cute?
I think so.
Okay.
Lattice really just gives us the ability to hit enchantments.
Mm-hmm.
Which we only have 4 of.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this too. Land tax only has value if you're running a bunch of basics. In reality, land tax is going to get you probably the only 3 to. You're going to get 2 activations, maybe. You're going to run 6 basics in the list. And that's pretty much it. I don't think you're going to run them anymore. In which case, I don't think land tax fits. Especially because I think there's a dyssynergy between land tax itself and Deep Dome Terramancer. Where Terramancer is fishing out the same basics that land tax is fishing out. And then, at one point, they're both useless.
I mean, I agree they're definitely at odds, but I mean, any ramp spell is at odds. I don't know if...
I think you run one or the other, not both.
Currently we're at 100 main board. I don't know, does this count commanders or...
Yeah, it does.
So then we're exactly at where we need, right?
Yeah, you are. I think you tried with our meta specifically. If you were going to try this with us, I think you want Ensnaring Bridge.
Maybe. I'm just looking up the MDFCs. Oh, whoops. I wanted to see if there was any good ones that we want. But I think at this point it's 10, so I'm gonna call it now. I think the list is in an interesting spot. It's good enough to play. We'll figure out the lands. I think that's probably gonna be pretty simple. But thanks for everyone watching. I know this was like a little last moment, but definitely thank you. And we'll catch you guys later. I say,
that was fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Thanks,
the video for this week is spicy, so been working on that one.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
All right.
All right.